Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at theDove.us. Great to have Colonel Dave Dotterrer back with us in the studio today. Today he's here as a candidate because he's running for the state Senate. And he's also previously served as a very interesting guy. You were kind of like the budget liaison between the Republican caucus on the House and the Senate.
That's correct.
You kind of kept all that going.
I worked all through that, and it was fascinating because you got to sit in both caucus meetings and see how the caucuses are different, because they really are different.
They really are different.
Yeah.
Well, now you're on the campaign mode, and you are running in this primary coming up on May 20th. The district is
District 3.
District 3.
Basically the southern half of Jackson County, including all of Medford.
And if you win the primary, you'll be up against incumbent Senator Alan Bates.
That's correct.
All right. And we have invited Alan Bates and you to a on-air forum. I won't call it a debate. I just want to sit down and talk with you guys, and I think we look forward to do that in the fall.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, looking forward
Cover
to that
Oregon. What a mess.
Yeah.
An absolute complete embarrassment. It's a mess, and everybody's running from this thing. I mean, it's the perfect storm for Republicans. Why aren't we capitalizing on this thing?
Well, we are, and if you listen to the campaign around the state, they absolutely are. But there's two words that come to mind when you think about this debacle known as Cover Oregon. That's malfeasance and hubris. Those are the two words that come to mind. Malfeasance for wasting $250 million.
Billion.
$250 million has been wasted. They also made a promise to the people of Oregon that said, we'll take over this part of the health insurance industry and we'll provide you with this portal and we'll provide you with an alternative. They failed to provide that, so now we have people who are hung out there. We actually, if you talk to insurance agents, they'll tell you that if they do this switch from the state to the federal system, they're not sure that if you signed up with the state that it'll automatically transfer over to the Fed. You may have to sign up again. Okay. And then finally, the legislative leadership, including my opponent, just failing miserably to their constitutionally mandated responsibility of oversight and auditing of this, because this was a very, very important, big, and it was a complex program. Everybody knew this up front. This was very complex, and we also know that Oregon's track record with these kinds of projects is absolutely miserable. So,
all right, $250 million down the drain. We know that Congressman Walden and Representative Dennis Richardson, who's running for governor, have called for an investigation.
Correct.
To take a look at this. But nothing's happened. I mean, in the real world, you'd call for a refund. Why aren't we calling for a refund?
But
somebody's got to get sued over this. I mean, this is crazy.
That really is. But who's going to get refunded? This is the.
Well, you and I are the taxpayers.
Well, that's right. The federal taxpayers.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's our taxes.
That's our taxes. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We'd ask for a refund, but who are you going to get refunded from? I mean, you can't refund you take the money out of the governor's pocket or my opponent's pocket. I mean, the money, if you've already spent that money and you've paid private contractors, you've paid them for all those ads, are you going to take the money back from them? And if the feds come back and ask for a refund, the money has to come out of the Oregon State budget. So that the Oregon State leadership is not going to ask for that because that's $250 million.
But why can't the state go after the company that failed?
Well, they could, but actually, the malfeasance is on the part of our state officials. I mean, remember, they signed a time and materials contract with Oracle, okay? And because they signed a time and materials contract, you essentially hired them as temps.
Yeah.
You said, look, you bring in these people and help us write the code, but we're the management, we're the leadership at the top of all this. So, yes, I'm sure that there will be some kind of there will be something action taken against Oracle.
Okay.
No doubt about that.
Now, it's been said the governor can fix this through executive order or something. Then you find out the governor can't do this. It has to go to a special session?
Well, here's what took place. People, including my opponent, were rendering these legal opinions saying that, well, you know what, the governor has the authority to do this. Well, last week, the Oregon Legislative Council, these are the lawyers and the legal counsel to the Oregon legislature, came back and said, oh no, you can't. You know, these are the people that actually wrote the bill, drafted the bill. They came back and said, no, if you look in that bill, it was written in such a way, you didn't give yourself an escape clause.
Wow.
So you have to come back in and change the statute so that you can do this. Now, that's just an opinion, so we'll see how this all battles out.
Right.
But it just tells you what a mess it is, because do we have to or don't we? And if you do it, if the governor just goes ahead and does it, what happens if there's a court case and they say, oh no, you didn't have the authority to do that? So this is what this whole mess is all about. And going back to that second word I was talking about, which is the hubris. The hubris of a state government that believes it can take over something as complex as the health insurance industry and for an entire state, and tell people we're going to force you in through this single portal, and that somehow you can do this. You know, that your state government has that capability to do that, and it clearly doesn't. I mean, it clearly failed to do that. So, okay, now what? You know, the answer is you're going to have to go into the federal system, because the federal law says you have to have some kind of an exchange, either the federal one or the state. Well, we failed in that piece, so now we're going to have to transition. Well, okay, so what's the plan for that transition now that this has collapsed? Yeah. Okay, the word I'm getting is that right now there isn't a plan. Now you throw in this legal opinion that puts it all in a turmoil and says, well, wait a minute, do you have to change the statute or not? Can the governor do this unilaterally, or do you have to bring in the legislature and change the law? Okay, how do you change the law? I mean, this is really. All
right, so the governor's up for re-election. Is this an issue with him? I mean, are you sensing people are saying, wait a minute,
yes,
John, you've really messed up here?
Yes, that's right. It is very much an issue. I've already walked 2,500 doors, and I can tell you out on the campaign trail, people are bringing up Cover Oregon. They're just saying they understand that this debacle is indicative of the leadership we have in this state, both at the governor level and also with the legislature.
You know, the irony of all ironies, Dave, is it would have been better just to stick with the Oregon Health Plan.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, see, that's.
I mean, as crazy as that was, it's a whole lot better than what we got.
Well, what's actually happening is, you know, the Oregon Health Plan. The plan was to sign up about 200,000 people based on this. They've already signed up about 300,000 people, about 50% more, and it's literally. I don't know if you saw the opinion piece in the Mail Tribune Saturday, but it was from Bend, and I talked to a Bend doctor. What's happening is so many more people are being signed up for the Oregon Health Plan. They're overloading the system, and they've signed up so many more people. For example, in the Bend Bulletin did an investigative report on this. They've signed up 50% more, or more than 50% more people than they expected, and the problem is that every doctor in the Central Oregon area has now come back and said, I'm not taking any more Medicaid patients. Well, okay, so wait a minute. If you set up a system in which you put people onto Medicaid or the Oregon Health Plan, and none of the doctors are going to take any additional patients, where do you leave the patients? Mm-hmm. I mean, and I can tell you that on the door, I had a woman who was pleased on one side that she said that, you know, I was signed up for the Oregon Health Plan. She said that's the good side of it, but the problem is I have an arthritic condition. I went to my doctor, and he said I only take one Medicaid patient a month, and you're now on a 2-year waiting list to do this. I mean, you know, now fortunately her condition is not life-threatening, but still it's a two-year waiting list.
What a mess.
Yeah.
And I've seen now where 800,000, and this is just the beginning, 800,000 physicians nationwide are beginning to stand up and rebel against Obamacare. So,
yes.
Something's got to stop. Yeah. We can't force this thing through. It's not working. And so I don't know what the solution. All right. What do you think of the state economy? I got a minute left. I got so many questions.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll come back on sometime. But no, the state economy.
Yeah.
You know, we need to remember that the state economy is performing poorly, and that the Jackson County economy our unemployment rate, for example, is 25% higher than the rest of the state.
We still got a problem.
We still got a problem.
All right, Dave, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And you're up for election May 20th. The ballots came out over the weekend. People want to get a hold of you and talk to you. What do they do?
DaveDotterrer.com.
DaveDotterrer.com. All right, thanks, Dave. All right, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.